Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be looking at an updated Tropical Storm Josephine forecast. I'm going to be presenting you my personal cone of uncertainty forecast as well as my personal tropical storm intensity forecast. And we're also going to be going over another area to watch, which is off the shore of the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast, which could bring some impacts to parts of southern New England and parts of southeastern Canada over the next couple of days, whether that be in the form of rain or just some relief from the very humid and warm temperatures. Currently, we have that storm off the shore of Cape Hatteras, North Carolina, and that'll be moving north and northeastward and potentially becoming our K-named storm. That would be Tropical Storm Kyle if it were to form, and that would be about 10 days or so before the previous earliest K-named storm, which was Hurricane Katrina back in 2005. So we've already broken, I believe, 7 or 8 records in terms of fastest named storms, and it looks like we're going to keep that pace throughout the rest of the hurricane season. So let's get right into it here with your National Weather Service page. We have a lot going on, so I'm going to go from east to west here. Flash flood watches in effect from Oklahoma and Arkansas to Kentucky, and then also for another area in North Carolina. Severe thunderstorm watches over parts of North Dakota and Minnesota. Heat advisories for parts of Texas, New Mexico, Louisiana, Arkansas, and Oklahoma, as well as some dense fog advisories and air quality alerts for parts of Kansas and Colorado. We have some red flag warnings for parts of southern Wyoming, as well as some more red flag warnings for parts of Oregon and Washington there. In this dark red, we have some excessive heat watches for parts of Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and also for much of Utah. We also have that for parts of, we also have some excessive heat warnings for parts of California, Nevada, and Arizona, as well as parts of Oregon and into extreme southern Washington there. And then we have some, again, those heat advisories for parts of Oregon and California right there in that orange shade. So quite a bit going on, and it's really unusual to see heat advisories and excessive heat watches for parts anywhere from Oregon and Idaho southward into Arizona and California. It's just something that you don't see too much, but with the pattern that we're in, we have a big ridge over the western United States, and that is really helping bring in some very warm air from the south, and that is amplifying our pattern, bringing in some very warm temperatures for those regions. Now, we also have a very busy Atlantic. Invest 96L, which is that disturbance I was talking about off the shore of Cape Hatteras. We have, again, Invest 96L, 40% chance within the next 2 days, 50% chance within the next 5 days. We have Tropical Storm Josephine as well there. We're going to be talking about that a little bit later in the video as well, coming along with my personal forecast as well. Now, here is the Eastern Pacific, quite a lot going on. We have Invest 93E, 80% chance of development. Disturbance 3 there off the coast of southern Mexico, another 80% chance of development within the next 5 days. And then we have Invest 94E in that orange, where you have about a 60% chance within the next 5 days of development. And then you also have Tropical Depression 10E there to the west of Invest 94E. Now, here is Disturbance 1 there in the Central Pacific south of Hawaii. We have a 30% chance of that developing. And then we have Tropical Depression 10E there as well, which is the same Tropical Depression 10E that's still in the Eastern Pacific. It just overlays onto both of these maps. Now, here is currently the infrared satellite of Invest 96E or Invest 96L, which is currently, again, off the shore of Cape Hatteras by a few hundred miles, and that's going to be making its way north and eastward. Now, it's not really too defined right now. The biggest area of intense thunderstorms is over the eastern side of the storm, although the low pressure system is centered right around here. Most of the intense convection is, again, on the eastern side of the storm. Right now, it's not tropical at all, but it will be becoming tropical as it moves off the very warm waters off the northeast coast, and it'll be able to intensify off there. Now, Here is your model track guidance for this storm, and it looks to stay off to sea. We might see some very brief rain showers move throughout parts of the northeast, especially the coastal regions. Other than that, don't expect too much in the way of impacts. The only thing that will really help in a positive way is potentially, again, some of that rain to relieve some of the drought. I wouldn't count on it, though. It's a very slim chance, and it would need to go a couple hundred miles further to the north than it currently is to get some of those rain showers. But really, the biggest impact is going to be a cooler weather for the eastern United States, so it'll be a welcome relief for many of you guys who do live in the eastern United States, except especially for parts of the northeast and the mid-Atlantic, where you'll see the biggest relief. Now, here is your model intensity guidance, and I would say about half to maybe two-thirds of the models bring this to a tropical storm, which would again be Tropical Storm Kyle if it were to be named. Right now, I do think it will be named our next tropical storm, unless something drastic changes within the next a couple of days. Also, I do want to mention I will be putting out my second updated winter forecast over on my channel tomorrow. So make sure you are subscribed and you have your notifications turned on so you don't miss that when it is uploaded. So here currently is where Josephine is located at about 54 degrees west by about 16 degrees north, and it currently has sustained winds of about 40 knots according to the National Hurricane Center. Now, here is or 40 miles per hour, excuse me. So here's the cone of uncertainty map from the National Hurricane Center. Tropical storm status expected to stay as a tropical storm all the way until Monday early morning. Then it should weaken to a tropical depression as it heads for just east of the Bahamas and also northward into the Bermuda region. So here is the model track guidance from the main models. Most of these have this curving northward as it moves just parallel north of Puerto Rico. That's when it'll start moving straight northward, pretty much north and northeastward. Now, here is your American ensemble models, and they have pretty much the same track, with this moving northwestward, and then moving straight north, and then moving northeastward. So that's kind of the general track that we're looking at. Now, here's your Canadian ensemble models, a little bit more all over the place, but still generally the same track as the other two ensemble models. Now, here is the most likely arrival time of those tropical storm winds and when you should expect them over the northern Lesser Antilles. Also for potentially extreme eastern Puerto Rico, you could see at least some impacts from this right around Saturday night, Saturday midday, I would say, and then Sunday morning is when it's going to start to depart. By Sunday afternoon, it should be all said and done with for extreme eastern Puerto Rico and the northern Lesser Antilles. Now, here is your chances of seeing 58 mile per hour wind speeds, and we have about a 20% chance of that occurring, although it does look very unlikely right now. Here is the model intensity guidance for Tropical Storm Josephine, and we have this currently at a very weak tropical storm, and it looks to stay like that until the next about 2 days or so. That's when it should weaken to a high-end tropical depression, and then potentially re-strengthening at the end of the forecast period to another tropical storm, and it would still be named Tropical Storm Josephine because it's still the same system. So we wouldn't get a new name out of that. It would still be Tropical Storm Josephine if that were to reform. Now, let's start looking at some of the environmental conditions. Well above average for much of off the coast of the Northeast, and also for pretty much the entire Atlantic as a whole, but especially off the coast of New England and southeastern Canada, where potential Tropical Storm Kyle is going to be moving through. Tropical Storm Josephine also moving through some very favorable conditions all throughout this region, in above average sea surface temperatures. And also, in terms of the actual sea surface temperatures, they are well above normal as well. Here, the actual temperatures all in the upper 80s to low 90 degree Fahrenheit readings. So very, very warm sea surface temperatures, and that'll really help this storm get going and start to fuel up. Now, here's my personal forecast for this storm, and this is going from today, the 14th, all the way until the 18th. So this is the next 5 days, and This currently is eastward of the Lesser Antilles there, marked by that area of low pressure, and that will be moving westward, and then it should curve straight northward, I think, sometime as it passes over the northern Lesser Antilles, if not making a north-northeastward track here. So that's my cone of uncertainty. Here is my intensity guidance forecast, and I am expecting this to stay as a tropical storm, or at least a very weak one, over the next 24 to about 36 hours. By that about 36-hour time frame, that's when I expect it to become a high-end tropical depression, maybe trying to become a tropical storm again as you get later on in the forecast period, past about 5 days or so. So that is going to wrap it up for today's video. I hope you guys all did enjoy it. Make sure you do go check out my updated winter forecast coming out tomorrow, and if you are not subscribed, be sure to subscribe. I also want to thank you guys for helping me hit 600 subscribers so quickly, and I just really want to thank you guys, and it really means a lot. So thank you guys for that, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.